Hi, it's Dr. Gary on the road. We sell dental practices nationwide. Today's topic is separating the dental real estate from the dental building, that is the dental real estate building, from the dental practice. What methods are used? We'll give you an example of what's going on today. So, we have a situation that we have a beautiful looking dental office. It is gorgeous. Generally, it's owned by the dentist that's selling the dental practice. This situation's different. This dentist had previously sold his office, and the buyer is in there for a rental. Now, the buyer is on a lease. They do not own the building. The previous dentist owned the building, and he took everything back as a lease. So that's kind of where we are with this. The present buyers are in a lease right now, and we have a new buyer, and the new buyer wants to purchase the building in the dental practice. Well, these are two separate transactions. We're going to talk about that. Before we do, we're involved in 28 states now showing dental practices. We have, at this point, 10 employees, including 2 CPA accountants, marketing director, advertising, and 5 development acquisition people. So we got a pretty good team right now. Our phone number is 201-663-0935. And our website is dentalpracticeguide.com or nationwidedentalpracticebrokers.com. So you can find us, you can reach us. All right? Now, the phones are answered, 201-663-0935. Phones are answered from 8 a.m. East Coast time till 9 p.m. We work every day except Christmas and Easter. We're always available to you. Just call us. So, as far as the information we're about to give you, it is all for entertainment, and it's our opinion. This is not legal or business advice. So please remember that. If you want to sell to a DSO, please call us. Often they will pay our commission, so there'll be no commission to you. And when you work with us, we can many times, based on criteria, get your legal fees paid upon successful closing. That is reimbursed. So just give us a call and we could talk to you about that. We know the DSOs, we know everything about them. We're independent, we can pick and choose. They're changing, they're getting more conservative. Some are dropping out, so we can help you with that. All right? Now, what do? You have a spectacular looking dental building with a beautiful build out as a lease. The buyer that's on a lease now wants to sell their dental practice, and the buyer wants to buy the building. These are completely two separate transactions. Completely separate. All right? The problem we're having now is the seller of the dental building was the previous dentist. The build out would be about $1.3 million now to build out what he has. And he's so in love with the office, he doesn't own it anymore, he owns the building. He can't get his arms around the fact that the value of the building is the 4 walls. It is not the build out of the dental office. It's 4 walls. And the square footage, that is, and the property and the building outside. So it's all of the square footage from the inside, from basically the outer walls out, or the inside of the inner walls out. Everything inside the walls is the value of the dental office. But the seller of the building can't get his arms around that. He thinks it's such a spectacular building that it's worth 30% more than true market value. The bank comes in, they're going to evaluate the building. They're going to do the square footage, the amenities, the heat, the air conditioning, the roof, all that, the parking lot, the lot. they're going to base it on that. They don't care what the inside looks like. That is the dental practice value. So, and this one happens to be going at a reasonable price. So the value of the dental office inside is completely different than the value of the building itself, the structure of the building, which is the four walls. Our trouble right now is we have a building seller that built a beautiful build out, but he can't see his office as an empty four walls. Can't get his arms around that. And we have to talk to him. It's going to be what the buyer wants to pay, what the bank appraiser thinks it's worth, and what the seller will let it go for. This one seller, being a dentist, is having a real hard time with the value because she spent so much money building the office. It was spectacular. It was beautiful. But the value of the dental office inside the walls is the purchase price. The purchase price is the interior walls with all its improvements on the inside. And that value is probably why the buyer bought it and paid top dollar for it. That buyer was buying the inside of the office and all the improvements. It was highly marketable, and that's where your value came from. Seller has to separate and say, I only have a four-wall building because everything inside the walls is the value of the dental office, which this seller of the real estate has nothing to do with anymore. He's just selling a building. This seller can't get his arms around it. The best we could do is get a fair market appraisal of the real estate from a third party that the bank will bring in. And the seller will just have to get their arms around it. We have a tough buyer that only wants, so to speak, the value of the four walls and out, the property, accessory buildings, the improvement to the property, the landscape, the parking lot, the lawn out front, all that. So let's see what happens here. This is a tough one. I have to get my arms around. This is where the broker comes in. We can reason with the seller, we believe. Whereas the buyer is focused on one price of four walls square footage. This is where a broker can try to convince the seller what can be done here, what the true value is. All right, so let's talk. Again, team, got a lot of new videos coming out, new practices for sale. We also have our list of most recent practices that have a drastic reductions. There's a couple of those, so look on our list. If you haven't signed up with us, call us, get on a non-disclosure agreement, and we'll get you going. Thank you for listening. Stay tuned. If you like what you heard, just sign up, hit the button, the subscribe button. Thank you, bye.